Good morning, this is Science 1 for SSES, Module 5. Write your name before we begin. So Quarter 2, Week 5 is about plants, parts of a plant. So we are done with animals, and then the next 4 modules will be about plants. Let's begin. So supplementary learning module for grade 1 SSES learners, lesson parts of a plant. So let's start. Plants are extremely important to life on Earth. They grow almost everywhere on the planet. Plants come in all shapes and sizes. Not all they are beautiful to look at. Not only they are beautiful to look at, but they keep people, animals, and the earth healthy. In this module, we will learn about the 6 basic plant parts and what each part does for the plants. So our objective, with the help of teacher Sheena, hi, I am teacher Sheena. I'm going to guide you in your journey to this learner's material. At the end of the module, you should be able to identify the parts of a plant, describe the function of each part, classify plant parts according to their physical characteristics like color, shape, texture, and more and others, and then explain that the absence of some plant parts affects their survival. So let's proceed with pre-test. So, directions for part 1, draw a line from the label to the correct part of the plant. So, we have here a sunflower. You are to identify the roots, the leaf, the flower, and the stem of the sunflower and how you are to draw a line. So, connect the parts to the parts of the sunflower. You may use a crayon or just your pencil. And when you're done, let's proceed with part 2. Match the part of the plant to its function. Write the correct letter on the blank. So it's okay if you're not familiar with all the functions. Anyway, this is just a pre-test. So we have the choices. Number 5, roots. Number 6, leaf. Number 7, flower. Number 8, fruits. Okay, I'll begin with the choices and you just write the letter on the blank. For letter A, are used as food. Are used as food. Letter B, beautifies our homes. Beautifies our homes. Letter C, makes food for the plant. Makes food for the plant. And then letter D, get water and nutrients from the soil. Get water and nutrients from the soil. Okay, when you're done, let's now proceed with part 3. Choose and circle the correct answer. So between the two choices, you encircle only one answer. Number 9, which plant has soft, juicy, and hollow stems? Carrot or kangkong? Which plant has soft, juicy, and hollow stems? Is it carrot or kangkong? Number 10, which flower has fragrant smell? When we say fragrant, it smells good. Rose or sunflower? Which flower has fragrant smell? Rose or sunflower? When you're done until number 10, so sabi ni Teacher Sheena, I wish to congratulate you. So I'll just check your answers and then when I return to you, you look back at your answers. You try to find for the difficult items and then compare it with the post-test later to be answered later. Okay, so let's have engage tree of life. Have you seen a coconut tree? So, coconut tree is common. It's very common, especially dito sa Philippines. It's a tropical country. And then, here is also a picture of a coconut tree. And then, let's try to answer questions about this. Ito yung coconut, the fruit, and then this is the tree. Okay, number 1, about how many parts does a coconut tree have? About how many parts does a coconut tree have? So you just count and then put the number, that the number of parts you see in a coconut tree. Next, number 2, can you name some of its parts? So after you counted those parts, this time for number 2, you are to write those that you counted. So if you named 4, if you answer 4, then your answer will be 4 parts. Or if there's more, then you list them down. And then number 3, which part is your favorite? So among the parts that you listed on number 2, choose one which is your favorite. Okay, when you're done, let's have explore A, parts of the plant. So number 1, observe some plants in your place. So you can go outside of the house, in your yard, or dun sa mga mami nyo or daddy nyo na plantita, plantito. Pwede kayong mag-observe sa mga nahiligan nilang plants, or baka yung kapitbahay also plantito, plantita, then pwede kayong makisilip sa mga plants nila. So next, choose one to draw and investigate its parts. So any plant will do. You can ask the elders, you can ask the adults what's the name of the plant, and then draw it in the box. So don't forget to color para maalala din ni teacher kung ano yung plant na yun. So you may pause this part para you can make your drawing beautiful. Tapos makulayan ng halos eksakto kung ano yung nakita nyong color ng plant. So you can also copy the colors. And then afterwards, when you're done, so put a check if observed, X if not observed. So if you see leaves on the plant that you've seen, so put a check. Stems, roots, flower, fruits, seeds. Okay, so this one, your answers may vary kasi depende rin sa plants that you chose. So that some plants may have all these parts, but others won't have. They don't have. Okay, next page, explore B. For explore B, what does each part do for the plant? So you will be needing a pair of scissors and glue or paste. So this is a cut and paste activity. Directions: match the plant part picture to its correct function. Got the pictures, which is found on the next page, but in your module that was given to you, it is found on the last page, and paste it on the box. Okay, so what is found on this page? So we have here six parts wherein you have to paste the picture here, and then on each item there is the function. There is an indicated function of the parts. So number 1, holds the plant up. Number 2, absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. Number 3, makes food for the plant. Number 4, colorful and attracts insects. Number 5, part from which the baby plant grows and found inside fruits. And then number 6, contains the seed. What is the best thing to do here is you detach, alisin na yung last page anyway, it will be cut out. So hindi na kailangang nakasama pa yung last page. So alisin na yon, and then there are 6 pictures. I'll show you. There are 6 pictures. All you have to do is cut them, and then you choose where to put the pictures that you got on page 7 according to the function. So, doon sa nilagay kong module, sa likod nito is a scratch. So, you just ignore. Kaya may nakalagay doon sa baba. Ignore back page. This is recycled. So, instead of throwing the paper, so I made use of the back page which is still clean. So, ito na lang. So, there are 6 pictures to be pasted on each of the item that indicates the function. Okay, so pause if you'd like to do it now, or you just you finish this video and then you just go back to this part. Third part under explore. So plant parts and their characteristics. Part A, draw a line to match the leaf to its shape. So this is all about leaves. And then you are to connect or draw a line that tells the shape of the leaves from numbers 1 to 4. Number 1, ano kaya to? Banana leaf. Number 2, it looks like a leaf of a papaya. Ito naman, ano ito? Parang caladium na parang gabi. Number 4, it looks like mango leaf. But so we are after the shape. So which one is heart-shaped? Connect. Which is thin and long? Next, which has irregular edges? Pag sinabing irregular edges, iba-iba. No definite na shape siya. Kaya sinabing irregular. So, pwedeng zigzag, curve. And then, which one is big? So, only one for each item. Part B. So, we now proceed with flowers. So, write F on the blank if the flower smells fragrant, if it smells good, and write NF if the flower does not smell fragrant. So, or generally, ang iba naman kasi flower, they don't have smell. And then, mostly, those flowers with smell or with scent, they are fragrant, but not all. Ano po? Okay, number 5, gumamela, F or NF. Number 6, ilang-ilang. Have you seen ilang-ilang? It's a tree, pero yung flowers niya, parang ano siya, they are not too obvious kasi parang kasama siya ng leaf. And then, if you've seen yung sampagitan na garland, yung dulo nun, minsan kulay red, minsan kulay light green. So, that is ilang-ilang. And number 7, sampagita. So, which is put into a garland. Yung sinasabit sa santo. Okay, so, F or NF. And then, to continue, we have number 8, sunflower. Number 9, roses. Number 10, santan. So, F or NF. And then, part C, this is now about the seeds and the fruit. So, group the fruits below to tell whether each fruit has one, few, or kaunti, or many seeds. So, which are the choices? We have apple, watermelon, atis, avocado, mango. I hope you have seen them in reality, and I hope you've tasted them. So, you are to write the name under each column. So, it does not apply that every box here under each column will be used. So, because there are only 5. So, ito 6. So, baka ang isa dyan will have only one answer. Okay. Let's proceed. Explore D, the 4th part. So, leaves make food for the plant. So, study the picture of a house plant. So, this is a house plant. Kawawa naman. Number 1, describe the color of the leaves. So, what colors do you see? And then number 2, what do you think might happen to the plant? So, if this is left here, only on this side of the house. So what will happen to the plant? You just use short answers. And then explain part. Answer the following questions. So again, short answers will be required. So number one, what are the basic plant parts? So you just list them down. Pwede you can put numbers para you won't get confused. And then number two, what does each plant part do for the plant? So, ano na lang, after you name the part, then short answer, what does each part does? And then, in what ways do plants differ? Ano yung mga pinagkaiba with the plants that were shown to you? So you can name 3. So it's like the one that we did with the, yung body parts growth of plants, or yung growth of animals, yung different parts of the animals. We also compare them. So this is what we have to do with plants. Kagaya din with human body. So we also had a lesson on comparing. So ito naman, it's about plants. And then number 4, what would happen if a plant part is damaged? So anong mangyayari? So only short answer. So we'll go back to the module later after this PowerPoint presentation. So we will discuss now, or you try to help me discuss the plant and its parts. So let's begin. So from the module, it was mentioned that we are to uh, name the parts and the function of each plant part, and also we have to compare. So in addition to comparing the different plants, so let's also try to answer these questions. So because of we are to compare, so let's also add this one. Do they have the same parts as with the animals? So because we have discussed the different animal parts, so we are also going to compare, pareho ba siya with the plants? And also another question to be answered, do they have the same parts as with ours? So we talked about the human body parts. So we have to also compare if these are also same with ours. Okay, so I have here 5 pictures with labels A, B, C, D, E. So we are to label the picture by telling the plant parts. So these pictures A to E are plant parts of a tomato plant. So we're going to name each part. Okay, so let's begin. So which is the root? Is it A, B, C, D, or E? So among the pictures, the root is, okay, letter C. Okay, next one. Which is the fruit? So ano doon? Alin dyan ang picture ng fruit? So C is already chosen. So we have left, what we have left is A, B, D, and E. So which is the fruit? It's letter B. Okay. Next, how about the leaf? So we have 3 choices left, A, D, and E. Which is the leaf? Is it A, D, or E? The correct answer is A. Okay. Next one, which is the stem? So we have 2 choices left. Is it D or E? The stem is letter, okay, D. And the last one, what do you call this plant part? So we have answered root, fruit, leaf, and stem. And what we have for E is what we call, okay, so flower is letter E. So these are the plant parts of a tomato plant. So we have the leaf, the fruit, the stem, the roots, and the flower. Let's have another uh, plant, and then we're going to name the parts. So beginning with A, what do you call this for letter A? So it's called the flower. Okay, how about for B? What do you call this plant part? It's what we call the fruit. How about for letter C? This is the arrow and it's pointing at this part, itong pahaba na to. So this is what we call the stem. Okay. And this one at your right, wala lang kasing letter D. Okay, so this one is being pointed at. So what do you call that? It's the leaves or leaf. Leaf if it's one, leaves if it's we are referring to many. And then the last one, which is not obvious or rarely seen on top of the ground kasi it's under the ground. So this is what we call the roots. Okay, so we were able to label the parts of this plant. Okay, let's have another picture of a plant, but this time it's bigger, it's taller. It's what we call tree. Okay, so we have here the parts of a tree. So we have root, fruit, branch, leaf, and trunk. Okay, so let's name the parts. What do we call this? It's the leaf. Okay, so the same with the previous plant parts. So they also have leaf or leaves if it's many. And then the next one at your right, it's what we call the branch. So branch. It's still a stem pero medyo ano siya woody. So it's now called branch. Next one at your left, ito, the bigger brown colored. So this one is called trunk. So it's still a stem, but it's woody and it's bigger and it's stronger. And syempre, it's a tree to hold the tree upward. So kailangan ng stronger stem, which is what we call the trunk. And then this one, yung orange na circle, so that is what we call the fruit. And the last one, so we have the root. So for this tree, we have the parts leaf, branch, trunk, fruit, and root. So what are we going to learn today is how each part works. So we are going to name each plant part and then we're going to find out how each how each part helps in the growth of plants. And then how it helps the plant to grow well. So just like I mentioned. So beginning with this one. So what do we call this plant part? Minsan, for trees, they are seen creeping, parang ano siya, gumagapang on the ground. And then for smaller plants, they move or they grow downward. So, some may grow longer, minsan naman may shorter nito. And this is what we call, based on the plant parts that we mentioned, that we named, using the diagram, this is what we call the roots. So, how do roots help in the growth of plants? Ano na itutulong nila? So, we have it holds. So the roots, how is it helpful to the plant? So, or what is the function? So First, it holds the plant in the soil. So, imagine ano kaya mangyayari kung walang nakakapit sa soil. So, wala. So, it holds the plant in the soil. Next, so look at this picture. So, this one is an uprooted tree. So, nawala na yung hold niya sa ground, yung roots. Kaya, ano nangyari? It cannot hold the tree anymore kasi wala na siya, siguro nabagyo to. So that's why the root should be strong enough. Okay, next one. Next function, it acts like straws. Anong ginagawa natin? Why do we need to, why some uses straws in drinking? So, para makasipsip. So, just like the roots, they act like straws to absorb water and nutrients in the soil. So, look at the diagram. So, ito yung, parang ano lang to, ginawang clip art. So, this is how it works. So, these are the roots na kumakapit under the ground. And then, this white part, yan, may sinisipsip papunta sa taas. And then, para ang water and then nutrients will be absorbed by the plant. So, aside from water, yung nutrients din, that is from the soil. Kaya kung ang soil is healthy, yung tinatawag na mataba, so the plants will also become healthy. But, kung ang soil yung medyo dry, or loose, or muddy, or parang maputik. So, minsan din, plants would not prefer those kind of soil. So, depende sa plant. Okay. Next one, next part. So, we begin with the parts from the bottom. So, ano yung sunod? So, minsan ganito, kind of woody. Minsan din is kind of dark green, or minsan din green. So, what is that plant part? It's what we call the stem. Okay, what does the stem do? So, for trees, so it's called a trunk. So, it's different from the trunk that we have, kasi ang trunk natin yung sa torso, or sa animals naman, the animal that has trunk is the elephant, but not all animals have trunk. So, but for trees, they have their trunk. So, this is a stem of tree. Parang stem din siya, but how is it different? It's bigger. It's woody, kaya medyo brown na din. It's stronger, kaya it can hold leaves, kahit malaki pa siyang, kahit madami pang siyang leaves or madami pang branches, it can hold the tree because of the trunk. Okay, so what does the stem do in order for plants to grow well? So, it supports the plant. So, parang siyang torso. So, just like our torso, kung hindi yan naka-hold, hindi yan nakatayo maayos, or we cannot uh, stand straight or sit straight. So, it supports just like that. Just like the plants, it supports the plant. Another function. So, yan. So, without the stem, ano kayo magiging hitsura ng plant? So, parang malulumbay na. Parang matutumba. Another one, it carries water and nutrients from roots to other parts. So from roots, after the roots get the water and nutrients from the soil, parang dinideliver niya papunta sa stem. So, parang may pag-uusap na sila. Oh, kaibigang stem. So, i-deliver mo na tong nakuha kong water and nutrients galing sa ilalim ng lupa. So, that is what the stem does. Okay, next. What is this plant part? So, mostly it's green, and others, they come in different colors. So, minsan, ang iba naman, they are wide, big. Iba naman maliliit, may thin siya, or kaya others, they come in different colors. Kagaya sa mayana, ang mayana may yellow, may red, may maroon. And then, minsan din, may mga white spots, may mga design. So, this plant part is what we call the leaves. Yeah. So, what is the function of the leaves? How is it helpful to the plant? So, what it does, or what they do is, they capture sunlight to make food for the plant. And this is what we call the photosynthesis. So, look at this diagram. So, this is what happens during photosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis yung parang nagkakaisa. Yung parang may magic happening sa leaves. So, this is what happens. The leaves would catch light. Kung makakita kayo ng solar panel, naka-spread out para makatch nila enough light. So, also with the leaves, ganun din ang ginagawa nila. So, even if it's not a sunny day, as long as it is bright, maliwanag sa labas, or ngayon it's a cloudy day, but still it's bright outside, so they can still capture sunlight, which is, they use it as, or they function as light energy, and then yung water and nutrients being carried by the stem, dinideliver naman yan papunta sa leaves para doon may magic na nangyayari. Anong nangyayari parang kitchen, doon sila gumagawa ng food. Because the plants cannot walk, the plants cannot look for food. Hindi naman kagaya ng animals and human beings na pwedeng maglakad, tapos bibili sa tindahan, or the animals would roam and then they can look for food. Pero ang plants, they can't do that. So they make use of their plant part, particularly the leaves, in order to make or manufacture their food. So iba naman yung kinakain nila. Hindi lang natin nakikita, but there is photosynthesis. And then, yung air being used is what we call carbon dioxide. I mentioned this during the discussion about the needs of human beings. And then, yung kanilang parang product nilalabas is oxygen, which we use. So, kaya dapat magtutulungan ang plants and then the human beings. And then, we have also the byproduct, the product which is sugar. So, that is what happens during photosynthesis, wherein the leaves make the food for the plant. Okay. Next one, this is a plant part which comes in different colors, in different sizes. May malaki, may maliit, may cute, may maganda. And then, some, they smell good. So, minsan naman yung iba, hindi naman mabango. And then, others still look pretty, but they don't have smell. So, I posted here, I chose which are distinct, kakaiba. So, this one, it looks like lips, pero hindi siya lips. Ito naman, it looks like monkey, pero hindi siya monkey. Ito naman, parang paper na folded, but it's not. It's real. Ito naman, parang mga dancing mga ladies in gown na medyo which is upside down. And this plant part is what we call the flower. So the flower comes in different colors, in different smell. Merong ang corpse plant na ang flower ay masyadong mabaho. Okay, so the flower, what does it do? So it is where seeds come from. So look at this diagram. This is a tomato fruit. And before it becomes a fruit, eto muna siya. So from flower, ang nangyari, when it matures, may tumutubo doon sa gitna na parang green. Ito na yung beginning of the fruit. And then the petals, nawala na siya, naglagas na. And then soon, so yung green na fruit, it becomes bigger and ripe until it becomes a tomato fruit. Yan. And then another, it attracts insects like bees and butterflies. So, kaya pala nagpapaganda yung flower para madaming mga insects ang dumapot. Tama. So, that's why, if you see a garden where flowers, beautiful flowers bloom, mas maganda siya, tingnan na lang. So nakalagay minsan, don't pick flowers. That's because they are needed by insects. So the more flowers, the more insects will come, and then the more insects will help in growing more flowers. Kasi yung paa, just like this butterfly, ang paa ng butterfly parang may ano yan, may dumidikit dyan. When they alight on flowers, so may mga dumidikit dyan na pollen. Yung pollen na yon, and they are scattered. So, naiiwan yon, and then nakakatulong yun so that more flowers will bloom, and then also for bees, so makakatulong din yon. So, yung mga paa kasi nila parang may dumidikit na mga pollen, which helps in making in growing more flowers, also with more plants. So, yun. Next one, itong pinakamasarap. Kasi aside from it is a plant part, this is also what we like because we can eat them. So, this is what we call the fruit. Okay. Ano ba ang function ng fruit? Because we can eat them, so yan ang function din. But for the plant, how does it function? Nakakain ba to ng plant? No, they can't eat the fruit kasi may photosynthesis na sila. Wala naman silang mouth, wala naman silang stomach. So, the fruit functions as parang ano siya, container of the seeds. And then, so, fruits you can grow from the seeds or pit. So, ito are some of the fruits wherein you can get the seeds. Tapos, you can plant the seed and make more plants. So, pampadami siya. And then, it helps in making new plants, which I mentioned. So, more seeds, more plants will grow. So, this one, ano to? Beans. So, this is from seed hanggang may roots na siya until it pushes up para makalabas na siya sa ground, and then until it becomes a baby plant. Let's go back to the module. Excuse the extra sound. So, medyo may maingay sa background because of the printing. Okay, so on the module itself, may input, so notes about the parts of the plants and the functions. Okay, so plants, let's break it down. Parts and their functions. Stem. The stem is strong and helps hold the plant up. It also lets water and nutrients flow up to the leaves. The stem is made up of many tiny tubes that extend to the leaves and roots of the plant. Some examples of stems we eat are celery, potato, kangkong, and sugar cane. Okay, the leaves. Leaves collect sunlight and make food for the plant. Leaves come in many different shapes and sizes, but most leaves are flat and green. Green leaves make food for the plant. Plants need water, air, and sunlight to make food in a process called photosynthesis. Some examples of leaves we eat are petchay, cabbage, and spinach. Okay, I'd like to correct something. Potato, ito yung sweet potato, kamote. So that's why we also eat the stems, yung kamote comes. Also the leaves. Next, flowers. Flowers are the parts of plants that make seeds and fruits. They help produce new plants. A part of the flower called ovary develops into a fruit. Some examples of flowers we eat are banana blossoms, broccoli, and roses. Flowers are colorful so they can attract animals like hummingbirds and bees. Flowering plants make our surrounding beautiful because of the colors. Okay, fruits. Fruits are the part of plants that protect seeds and helps the seed get moved from place to place by an animal. Some flowers become fruits. Animals like to eat fruit because most of them taste sweet. Next are the roots. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil and hold the plant in the ground so it does not fall over. They grow under the soil. Some are big while others are small. Most roots are brown. Some examples of roots we eat are sweet potatoes, yung kamote mismo, carrots, and taro or ube. All plants have roots. Okay, next the seeds. There are seeds in fruits. Seeds can become new plants. The seed is made up of three distinct parts. The embryo, which will eventually turn into the baby plant itself. The endosperm, which serves as a food storage area for the seed to use as its first sprouts. And a seed coat, which protects the seed from insects, disease, and moisture. So parts of a plant and a tree. How is it different from each other? So between a plant, which is smaller or shorter than a tree. So parts of a plant and a tree. The basic parts of plants are the leaves, stem, and roots. However, there are plants that have other parts not common to all. A tomato plant is a small plant. It has roots, leaves, stems, flowers, and fruits. A coconut tree is a big plant. So if you can take a look at the picture, it has a trunk, roots, leaves, flowers, and fruits. The trunk is the main stem of a tree. It is different from the branches. So, ang branches yung nasa malapit na sa leaves. But the trunk, parang it's the main stem. So the coconut tree and the tomato plant have common parts, which are roots, stems, and leaves. They also bear flowers and fruits. So even they differ in size or in how they look, so still they have common parts. Okay, comparing plant parts. Although plants have the same basic parts, plants differ from each other in color, size, and shape of their parts. For example, the leaves of both the rose plant, so look at the picture below, and gabi plant, so are green, but they differ in size and shape. So take a look at how they look. The leaves of the rose plant are small and oval shaped with sharp edges. So yan ang leaves. The leaves of the gabi plant are big and heart-shaped. So the leaves in terms of size and the shape, they differ. Comparing roots. Plants have different kinds of roots. Some plants have tiny and soft roots, just like this one at your left, while others have big and hard roots, just like this mango tree. So, ito naman, ito ang onion plants, and this one is the mango tree. How about the stems? Comparing stems, some plants have soft, juicy, and hollow stems. The stem of kangkong is soft and hollow. So, kung nakatikim na kayo ng kangkong, medyo ano siya, may crunchy, juicy. So, kasi hollow siya. So the stem of pechay is soft and juicy. Also with pechay, other plants like santan and gumamela have tough and woody stems. So kaya ito, the pechay and kangkong can be eaten kasi soft ang stems. But with santan, makunat siya, hindi niya siya easily cut. Kaya, hindi siya pwede, hindi kaya. So, they differ in the stems. So, some plants such as squash and watermelon, kalabasa, saka ano ito? Pakwan have creeping stems. So, iba naman ang stems nila. Creeping stems are long and slender. They are weak, so they stay close to the ground. So, when we say creep, so it's like, yan, gumagapang. So, minsan may nilalagay ng mga sticks, tapos doon sila gumagapang. So, some plants such as bitter gourd or ampalaya and enriched gourd, patola, have climbing stems. So, climbing stems are thin and very long. They grow upward and climb around a pole or trellis. So, yan. Yan sinasabi ko mga sticks na parang inassemble. So, these are the stems of watermelon and papaya. So, parang may mga, climbing. So, kung saan sila pwedeng kumapit yung mga dulo ng stems. So, kaya they are called climbing stems. Okay, how about the leaves? Leaves may be similar or different. Some are long and thin like the corn leaf. So, nakikita na kayo ng mais. Parang slender lang siya. Others are heart-shaped like those of gabi. So, at saka included din yung mga kinukulit ng mga plantita, yung caladium. So, parang siya, heart-shaped. So, some leaves are small like those of tamarind, yung sampalok, and the lead tree or the ipil-ipil. So, mga siya, maliliit. Tapos, parang naka-arrange siya, magkakalit. And then, other leaves are big like those of banana, yung ginagamit pag nag-budol fight. Still, other leaves have irregular edges like those of the papaya. So, ito yung mga common shapes of leaves. So, the shapes, ang veins naman, yung mga lines. So, merong parallel, merong yung watak-watak, kaya net-like. And then, shapes naman, they come in different shapes. The arrangement, ito yung parang sa malunggay, sa ipil-ipil, and then sa sampalok. Tapos, meron ng compound, and then the simple one. The edges, pwedeng, yan, pantay-pantay lang, smooth, pwedeng tooth, or lobed. Tapos, arrangement of the stem. So, meron yung alternate. Hindi sila pantay-pantay. Meron ding, magkatapat, and then whorl. So, let us study the parts of the leaf. Most leaves have a flat, thin-looking part called the blade. The stalk of a leaf is called the petiole. The petiole is attached to the stem. The lines in the blade of the leaf are called veins. The largest vein is called the midrib. So, ito, yung sa gitna. So, these are parts of the leaf. So, this is just an introduction to you, but this will be discussed further when you reach higher grades. So, how about the flowers? So, comparing flowers, we have here different examples. So, flowers also differ in their characteristics. So, flowers differ in color. Some flowers have a fragrant smell. Others do not smell as good. So, meron talaga may mabaho. Some flowers do not have any scent at all. So, it looks beautiful, pero when you smell it, wala lang siya. Walang amoy. So, flowers differ in size. Some are big, while others are small. So, here are examples. Yan. Yung iba, ginagamit yan sa pagde-decorate. Ito, very common yan sa mga garden. Ito namang baby's breath, yung ginagamit sa mga flower arrangement. Okay. How about the fruits? So, fruits differ in many ways. They differ in shape, size, color, texture, and taste. So, many fruits can be eaten. So, just like this one. So, they can be eaten. Comparing seeds. Fruits produce seeds. Some fruits have one seed. Others have many seeds. The seeds also differ in sizes. So, we have here a diagram. So, which one is the smallest among the seeds and on the diagram? It's the sesame seed. And which one is the biggest among the seeds? It's the coconut. And then, So others are yung mga nuts. So we have there the different seeds. Key concepts. The common parts of a plant are the roots, stems, and leaves. Some plants also have parts in common to other plants. Not all plants have flowers and fruits. The roots anchor the plant to the soil. They get water and nutrients from the soil. The stems hold the leaves, the flowers, and the fruits. They carry nutrients from the roots to the leaves. They also bring food from the leaves to the roots. So leaves make food for the plants. The ovary develops into a fruit which has seeds. The seeds and fruits produce new plants when they are planted. Some fruits are used by people and animals. Plant parts are alike in some ways. They also differ in many ways. Some roots are short, others are big. Some roots can be eaten. Some stems are hard, others are soft. Some are green, others are brown. Some stems can be eaten. Leaves can be alike or different in shape, size, and color. Some flowers have a good smell while others do not. Fruits differ in size, shape, color, and taste. Seeds of fruits differ in size, shape, and color. Okay, let's have apply your learning. This is a sorting game. Can you tell which of these plant parts are roots, fruits, stems, leaves, seeds, and flowers? So directions, sort the following food and write its name under the plant category it belongs. Then circle the ones you eat. So we have here different uh, plant parts that can be eaten. And then you are to group them if these are the roots, seeds, leaves, flowers, or stems. And then after you have listed them down here, you encircle which ones you eat. Teacher, lahat ko po yung kinakain. So good. So you have to encircle all of them. Teacher, wala ko diyang kinakain kasi ayoko ng vegetables. So you don't need to encircle them, but you have to learn eating one of those. Okay. And then for test yourself, directions, fill in the table with the correct answers. So we have here 3 columns. So namely, I'll just sum it. Okay, namely name of plant part and then the function. So this will be your clue to identify the plant part. And then you have to draw. So visual observation based on the plants that you've seen outside, either when you were answering this module or even before. So you have to draw the plant part being described. And don't forget to color your pictures. So this is from number 1 until number 10. So 1 point for the part, another point for your drawing. And then part 2, write on the blank the letter of the correct answer. So we have here the box where you have to write your answer. Number 1, how are the leaves of a rose plant and banana plant different? So you can scroll back or you can return to that page where you can see the rose plant and the banana plant. So how are they different? A, size, B, shape and color, C, size and shape, D, color. Number 2, how many seeds does a watermelon have? A, 1, B, few or konti, C, many, madami, D, none. How many seeds does a watermelon have? A, 1, B, few, C, many, D, none. Number 3, what are the common parts of a plant? A, fruits, leaves, roots. B, roots, leaves, stem. C, flowers, leaves, roots. D, flowers, fruits, stem. I repeat, what are the common parts of a plant? It was mentioned on the input part. A, fruits, leaves, roots. B, roots, leaves, stem. C, flowers, leaves, roots. Or D, flowers, fruits, stem. Number 4, which is common to santan and rose plants. So you can scroll back to recall how or to See the pictures again of santan and rose plant. So, how are they common? A, both bear fruits. B, both bear flowers. C, both are big plants. D, both have yellow leaves. Which is common to santan and rose plants? A, both bear fruits. B, both bear flowers. C, both are big plants. Or D, both have yellow leaves. Number 5, what would happen if the plant's leaves turn dry and brown? A, it will wither and soon die. B, it will grow fast. C, it will produce more leaves. D, it will bear new fruit. What would happen if the plant's leaves turn dry and brown? A, it will wither and soon die. B, it will grow fast. C, it will produce more leaves. D, it will bear new fruit. So, kindly review your answers. Review if you have put your answers on each of the blank. And then reflect. Don't forget this part. So, wow, congratulations for finishing this module. What have you learned? Put a check under the proper column. So, if you can recall, so it means you've learned something. And if you can identify each of the function, so it means it's a yes. You can, you've learned something. So, on each learning, you either answer yes or no. Number 1, identify the parts of a plant. Can you do that? Put a yes. If not, no. Number 2, describe the functions of the roots. Can you remember how roots are helpful to plants? If your answer is yes, then put a check here. But if not, no. How about the stems? You know the function of the stems? The leaves, the flowers, the fruits, the seeds. So yes or no. Number 3, classify plant parts according to shape. Can you identify the shape? And then can you group the leaves according to shape? So yes or no. Now letter B, color. How about the size? And about the smell of the flowers and also the seeds. Can you tell the number of seeds if it's one, few, or many, or none? And then number 4, explain that the absence of some plant parts affects their survival. Okay. Glossary. The following terms used in this module are defined as follows. Characteristics. It's one assigned to protect or oversee another. So I think this is not the correct word for it. And then common, shared by 2 or more things, plants, or by all members of a group. Fragrant, having a sweet or pleasant smell. Function, specific use of a part. Hollow, an unfilled space. Irregular, not following a usual pattern or shape. Nutrients, substances that promote growth and maintains life. Ovary, the enlarged base portion of a flower that turns into a fruit. Survival, the continuation of life. So these are the words used in the module. On the last part, directions, write yes if the statement is correct and write no if it is not correct. So number 1, the roots anchor the plant to the soil and get water and nutrients from it. I repeat, the roots anchor the plant to the soil and get water and nutrients from it. Number 2, fruits contain the seeds of a plant. Fruits contain the seeds of a plant. Number 3, all flowers are the same in color and smell. All flowers are the same in color and smell. Number 4, both gabi and gumamela leaves are heart-shaped. Both gabi and gumamela leaves are heart-shaped. Number 5, each part of the plant play an important role for the plant's survival. I repeat, each part of the plant play an important role for the plant's survival. So, can we see if all the blanks are filled out? So, hi, I am back to congratulate you again. Teacher Rochelle will be checking your answers, and if I hope you got a perfect score by this time. But if you still have some errors, you may read the module again, so syempre, or set a conference with your teacher until you learn. So sabi ni Teacher Sheena dito, good job!